A very good evening to everyone. On behalf of BM Ruya Girls College and Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies, affiliated to SNDT University Mumbai, managed by Marwadi Sammelan, I, Dr. Ganatra Kashyap, would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone for today's national webinar on restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. This national webinar is organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Department of Commerce, and Department of Sociology in collaboration with Rotary Club of Bombay, Mid City. We as an institution are extremely privileged and blessed to have the constant encouragement of our esteemed management members, President of Marwadi Sammelan, Honorable Advocate Shushil Vyasji sir, Secretary of Marwadi Sammelan, Shri Suresh Devraji sir, Trustee of Marwadi Sammelan and Convener of BM Ruya Girls College, Shri Shrikant Dalmiaji sir, Convener of Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies, Shri Vijay Singalji sir. We extend a warm welcome to all our dignitaries. We also extend a warm welcome to our resource person for today's national webinar, Dr. Minakshi Jain, consulting homeopath, who will be guiding us in this session on the topic restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. We would like to extend a warm welcome to all the respected principals from various esteemed institutions, faculty members, non-teaching staff, and participants from Pan India and abroad. We also welcome our dear students who have joined us today for this national webinar. A hearty welcome to all of you. Now, as is a tradition in our college, let us start the program with the college prayer. I now invite Ms. Shruti Randade Madam, Associate Professor in Psychology and overall in charge of BM Ruya Girls College, to recite the prayer of our college.
या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तू ही राम है, तू रहीम है, तू करीम कृष्ण खुदा हुआ, तू ही वाहे गुरु, तू ही समसी, हर नाम में तू समा रहा। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति।
Thank you, madam. I would like to welcome our respected principal, Madam Dr. Santosh Kolkar. Her constant support and encouragement has been a great source of strength to all of us. Her constant endeavor to motivate and infuse new vision in us has made this national webinar possible. I now invite Principal Madam Dr. Santosh Kolkar to share her thoughts with us.
Good evening and a warm welcome to you all. Today we are delighted to have with us respected members from Marwadi Sammelan, President Marwadi Sammelan, respected Shri Sushil Vyasji, Honorable Secretary, respected Shri Suresh Devraji, Convener of BM Ruya Girls College, Shri Shrikant Dalmia ji, Convener of Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies, Shri Vijay Kumar Singhal ji, all the honorable management members, today's honorable guest, Dr. Meenakshi Jain, honorable members of Rotary Club of Bombay Mid-City, President Mr. Ramesh Jain and his wonderful team, principals, our colleagues and friends from various universities and institutions all over India, teaching and non-teaching staff from all the institutes, BM Ruya Girls College, Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies, our both schools, dear alumni and dear students. Today, I once again welcome you all in this webinar, which has been organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Department of Commerce and Department of Sociology in collaboration with Rotary Club of Bombay Mid-City. Topic of today's national webinar is restoring synergy of mind, body and soul with homeopathy. We all are always worried about health and well-being of ourselves, our family members, friends, and relatives. Especially in today's times, these worries have increased due to changing situations and increase in COVID-19 patients. When we think about health, diet, and exercise, typically at the first sight, what things come to us or to our mind is, however, good health isn't just about the physical body. Our mind and body are interconnected and affect each other tremendously. We all have a body. It's our physical structure, the vessel holding our brains, body parts, muscle, and fat. Our body usually communicates to us through symptoms and physical sensations. The mind governs our mental and emotional aspects. It houses our consciousness and allows us to be aware of the world and power our ability to think. Our feelings are eternal. They can't be seen. They can't only be felt. Our spirit is invisible to us and to others. Its eternal nature doesn't need a physical body or need to conform to space and time. It comprises of three aspects: body, mind, and emotions. The truth is that each of these three aspects are always communicating with each other and are always being witnessed by our soul. So, it's important to maintain a healthy balance between our mind, body, and soul by nurturing our whole self, including our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs. Hope this webinar helps us all to carry out the balance of restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy in our lives. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashit dukh bhag bhavet. सभी सुखी हों, सभी रोग मुक्त रहें, सभी मंगलमय घटनाओं के साक्षी बने और किसी भी प्रकार के दुख का भागी किसी को न बनना पड़े. हमारी यही कामना है कि आप स्वस्थ रहें, सानंद रहें. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, madam. We are privileged to have amongst us a renowned consulting homeopath, Dr. Meenakshi Jain, as a resource person for today's national webinar on restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul through homeopathy. Dr. Meenakshi Jain is a consulting homeopath specializing in BHMS. Dr. Meenakshi Jain is a counselor, graphologist, cosmetologist, trichologist, EQ trainer, and a holistic HR, and is attached to Maru Charitable Hospital as a homeopathic physician. Services offered under her brand name, Homeopathy Miracles, includes holistic homeopathy, therapy workshops for corporates, individual groups, schools, NGOs, etc., cosmetology and trichology integrated with homeopathy. Dr. Jain has been honored with Vocational Award in Excellence in Homeopathy at Rotary Bombay Peninsula in March 2018 and Emerging Holistic Healer and Homeopath at Global Medical Tourism Conclave in October 2019. Dr. Meenakshi Jain has conducted various talks and camps on homeopathy at Rotary and is an active member of Jain Doctors Federation and Association. I now invite Dr. Meenakshi Jain to share her thoughts with us on the concept of restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. Over to you, madam.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ganatra, for such a wonderful introduction. And great thank you to BM Ruya College for and the dignitaries and the principal of BM Ruya College and the Management Institute, SNDT, the Management Institute of Studies, of course, and the two dignitaries present today, all here, and to my amazing audience present here for this seminar. Let us begin with our topic for today. I'm sure everybody is ready with the topic for today, that is restoring synergy between mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. Let's make it a little interactive session. I'll now share my screen for my presentation. Just a minute, yeah. Yeah. So today's topic is good health is a result of synergy between mind and body. And so that we make this session interactive but yet disciplined, I would like to like the audience to share their answers by saying yes, no, and saying no. And whenever you want to participate, you can raise your hand, and we would love to answer all your questions at the end of the session. So now, my question to all the audience here is, what is good health? Yeah, what you understand by a state of good health? So WHO says that good health is a state of complete well-being between mind, that is a mental sphere, the physical body, and the social well-being. And it is not just the absence of disease or infirmity. So what does it mean? It has to be a well-being at a mental level, a well-being at a physical level, and of course your social interactions, not merely absence of disease. Like if I would present you with some examples, like somebody who doesn't have a disease but always feels low on energy, is he an healthy person? What do you all think? Is he a healthy person? Or somebody who constantly is in a state of anxiety, or has a lot of fears or phobias, is he a healthy person? So in my understanding, and of course you all will agree that he isn't a healthy person. So moving ahead, if we understand the concept of immunity, because of this COVID situation, everybody is really concerned about their immunity. And so what is immunity? Immunity is a state of health where your body is able to fight the foreign organism or the foreign invasion in your body. And how does that happen, or how do you enhance your immunity? If we see there are 5 to 6 parameters for enhancing your immunity. One is like what you eat in your diet, the nutrition. One is the stress. Second one is the stress hormone cortisol. So if there is stress, so definitely there is a correlation between the mind and body. Like if you have a lowered immunity, your body is prone to get infection. And if you have a lot of stress, it can lead definitely to lowered immunity. So there are another 2, 3 more parameters which are on the physical side. Now, if we understand one more example of various philosophers, like one of them is Deepak Chopra, who says mind and body are two parallel universes. So anything which happens in the mental sphere leaves its track in the physical sphere. Obviously, vice versa is also true. Like Principal Madam had very rightly put the role of between the synergy between mind, body, and the soul. And most of the chronic diseases, if you understand in depth, have this connections which are there. And if we don't treat a human being holistically, like considering his mind, considering his body and his disease pattern, I don't see there is a permanent or a solution which is long-term solution for any illnesses. That's why people are struggling for treatment of chronic diseases like autoimmune disorder, neurological disorder, or there are so many unexplained diseases in existing which do not have real diagnosis or any reasons available why these are happening. So now, if my question to the audience here is, if good health has all these 3 parameters, mind, body, and social well-being, why not a therapy which is aiming or which we want to treat holistically or want to treat for complete cure, not incorporate all these 3 parameters to study? And the therapy which I know of is homeopathy. Homeopathy takes into consideration mind of a person, body of a person, and his disease pattern. And that's how we aim to cure diseases which are chronic and which have no reasons to be there, like unexplained diseases or hereditary tendencies like renal stones, hypercholesteremia, because the principle is incorporating holisticness of a human being. I call homeopathy as a Amazon of healing because in this 25 years of experience of practicing homeopathy, we have treated a big range of diseases. I would say from A to Z, like some simple allergies, asthma, to autoimmune disorders, to chronic diseases like neurological disorder, ankylosing spondylitis. There's a huge range of spectrum in which homeopathy can help. So if we, like normally when we see homeopathy, and you always remember these fields are so small, and what are they going to do? I mean, that's the normal person who has not experienced this effect of the therapy would always have this question. And my answer to you is, what makes this therapy as potent and as powerful are the principles behind which is based. Like on the principles are the foundation on which the entire miraculous homeopathy is based, or the results of homeopathy are based. So let's try and understand what are the principles of homeopathy. I hope the audience is getting where we are and like how is the flow. I would like to have some participation from your end. Somebody, y'all, is it understandable, or shall we make it more explaining? Yeah. So moving ahead, let me understand, explain you the principles of homeopathy. So the most vital principle or the most potent principle is based on this sign, and I am sure everybody can identify what does this sign mean. This is of course fingerprint, and so what is the most important quality of a fingerprint? The most important quality, of course, of a fingerprint, that no two people have same fingerprint. That's why they are being used at all the major identification places, and so that makes it so unique. And do you think any two individuals do they think the same, or any two individuals have a similar physical body pattern, or any individual?
काफी लोग देख रहे हैं यार,
Yeah.
90
Hello.
लोग.
Hope I'm audible to everybody. Can somebody type yes? Can we move ahead in our presentation?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Can go
Yes,
ahead.
yes. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. So this fingerprint is a sign of uniqueness. And like each human being has a unique mental pattern, and he has a unique physical pattern too. And he has a unique disease pattern. Like if अगर हम दो सर्दी compare करेंगे, two type of people who have a cold, their cold will definitely be different. Like the type of discharge or the 1 second, yeah. So the type of discharge or the symptoms like fever, somebody feels chilly with the fever, somebody is thirsty with the fever. So these are the minutest details which we take into consideration. We match with our remedies, which are studied in the similar pattern, in the pattern of personalities of people, in the pattern of their personalities of physical makeup. Like some people are prone to renal stones, or you would say uric acid diathesis or cholesterol. Then these kind of diatheses are there in our homeopathic medicine, and when these medicines are given in the right match, then the disease starts getting better, and his mind, his body, and entire physical pattern start settling. So that's why we say that we aim at a holistic cure. That's the most important principle of homeopathy. Other principles on which homeopathy is based, that is used in a minimal dose. Yani if we want to analyze the substance in homeopathic medicine, we'll have to devise a certain special procedure that it does contain a medicinal substance. Now the natural question which comes to your mind, if the dose is so less, how is this acting? Like, because modern medicines are usually in milligram or micrograms, and how does this work? The process in which these medicines are made, that is the most specialized way, which is we call as potentization. And this process of potentization helps it to become the most powerful dynamic plane of functioning. Like the dose, material dose is very less, but the action is in its energy in which it is made. And because it takes into consideration the mind, body, and the entire spectrum of a human being, it is a holistic remedy. Since the dose is so little, there are no side effects, and also it is not addictive. Only thing which we have to note, since we are empowering the disease system, it takes certain time. Like suppose you are at a X plane and you have to reach at a Y plane. Of course, there will be a certain period of time. So we need to give them these medicines for a period, maybe 3 months, 6 months, basically based on the disease which they are suffering from. Moving on to the next slide. So like the principal madam had also rightly pointed out that mind and body are interconnected. So there is a big spectrum of diseases called as autoimmune diseases. The name already suggests what is an autoimmune disease. Auto means आपके against. Your body cells start working against your body cells. And when internal system is getting deranged, that's a storm, that's an alarm, and you invite autoimmune diseases in your system. Now, how does this happen? We have seen in a lot of cases there is a mental correlation with these diseases. Modern medicine, actually speaking, does not have any permanent cure for these diseases. Usually, they need to give steroids or manage it empirically, like symptomatically, SOS. So in these range of diseases like psoriasis, like vitiligo, like lichen planus, like Crohn's disease, like irritable bowel syndrome, These range of diseases, homeopathy does really wonders and it has wonderful results. I will share one of my few cases. So this is a case of psoriasis. What is psoriasis? Your skin cells are harming your own skin cells and they are creating new abnormal cells that too in 3 to 4 layers, which is not normal to the body. Now, treating modality remains the same, or the pattern of treatment also remains the same. That I need to study this person's mind, his mental pattern. I have to go through his life space. If you remember, that's why people say once you go to a homeopath, you need to spend at least an hour or so to understand his entire. This is because we need to understand his mental pattern, like his childhood, then his attributes as he grows up, and from there we match this personality with the personality of our medicines, which are also being studied in the similar pattern. And if this match or if this puzzle is solved perfectly, the results are amazing. And which is in front of you that this patient had this psoriatic cracks and scales on his fingers. And after around 6 months of treatment, he has this kind of healing. So definitely homeopathy has role in all these ailments. This is another case which I would like to share with you all. This is a case of lichen planus. Again, a skin disorder where there is a harm to the skin cells, and this was a young girl in her 28, and she was very fair, and she used to be with me years before with her mother. She used to come, and when she came to me, she had already been to a lot of skin specialists, invested a lot of time and money in diagnosing what she suffers from. And her skin, which was so fair, had become like this. And by the biopsy, they discovered that this is lichen planus. When we went through her life space, what I discovered that she had got divorced and she had a lot of stress of making her livelihood. She had a child, and of course there were some vital issues like marriage was not her plan, and so her sexual desires had also been at a neglect or at a bay where she had not addressed those issues. So there was a lot of repression and suppression in her system. And I would rightly say, like, if your mind is suffering or if you are suffering, it will call for a help. And the message or the language in which it called for help was this: by getting lichen planus. She needed to address those issues. We had a counseling session with her. We had some subconscious healing sessions with her, and we put her on a homeopathic medicine after studying the entire mind pattern, the physical pattern, and the disease pattern. And this is the result which we achieve after 6 months. She took medicine for a year. We gradually tapered her medicine, and now she's absolutely fine with her fair complexion back to the normal. She has no recurrence anymore. Yeah, but then the awareness was also the key to healing. Mental awareness about what stress are you passing through. Addressing those issues is also very, very vital along with homeopathy. Homeopathic history in itself is so beautifully taken that there is a lot of self-realization coming to you, that how are you dealing with your life and how are you dealing with your emotions. And then definitely, since we have done EQ and other mental healing therapy, we try to help patients with tools to empower their mind and to navigate their emotions. Yeah. So moving on to a small testimonial, which I would love to share with you all, to show that when we treat with homeopathy, it's not just the body, it's not just the mind, it's a holistic process of healing, and the results are totally holistic. So if you see the slide, you can read here. Like, I'm asking the patient how she can share how mind and body are both helped with homeopathy, and she had heel pain. She was suffering from calcaneal spur. That's like the bone overgrowth. And after treatment, she says that her heels are much better. And she had tremendous anxiety and fear, which after our treatment became much better. Like she's saying, my fear and anxiety is much better too. And but she had some new complaints which she wanted to share with me so that we can treat her. So that's what I want to highlight here. So when we treat any ailment or any individual, we just don't treat his physical cure. We are aiming at a holistic cure. And our tabs, like when we give the medicine, we hand over the tabs to the patient that this should be better, like your sleep should be better, your mind should be better, and your disease, of course. So then you already know whether you are doing better with medicine or not. Moving on to a big spectrum of ailments, that is mental disorders. Very, very neglected, people are still really shameful to come out and admit that they have some mental issues. Like we have the example of Sushant Singh. Really sad to say, such a fighter could do such a action had he got the timely help and awareness that he needs to go for a medical aid. I guess we could have avoided this kind of situation. So in mental disorders, homeopathy definitely have wonderful scope like depression, anxiety neurosis, schizophrenia, phobias, fears, and panic attacks. Now here I want to highlight and want to say that each therapy has wonderful things to offer. Hats off to modern medicine with its recent advances and so much medical knowledge growth that we have been able to move forward in terms of diagnosis, in terms of blood test, in terms of other modules of treatment. So I believe each therapy, like could be Ayurveda, could be modern medicine, has a lot of goodness to offer for healing. So if all the therapies integrate together, it would be in good faith for healing for the patient. So I like to share in this light one more case, a case of schizophrenia. This young man who is now celebrating his birthday with his cake had schizophrenia. Another schizophrenia was since quite long years, 10 years, and I knew this family, and his sister was struggling to find a solution for him. What is schizophrenia? I am sure the audience knows about it, but let me just highlight. It's like split personality. You hear voices which are not actually present. You could see vision which are not present, and you could have either very aggressive states or you could be having a depressed state. So this man was prone to manic states. What we call as manic is like madness state, where you could shout, where you could do violence. To be frequently shifted to rehabilitation centers. And that became a very difficult part for his sister to manage, since his mother also had a similar family history. The entire onus of the family was with the sister. And he was on n number of psychiatric drugs, not still doing well. So that is the time they approached us and we took his history. Another point where I want to highlight is in such cases, the journey from childhood till adulthood is the most important journey, because these are the seeds probably where if the genetic load was there and where this could have been aggravated or propelled, and he landed up into schizophrenia. So since his mother also was a mental disorder patient, definitely he never had a healthy childhood. And after we made his history and matching his mentals and taking into consideration everything, we started with our medicine. In that case, now the question comes to each one of you: what about those drugs, psychiatric drugs which were there? So here, that's what I say, we can go hand in hand. So for some months, we kept all his medicine on with homeopathy. I wanted to see a change in him and then decide whether how we could taper the medicines with the help of the psychiatrist. Of course, I as a team with psychiatrists had coordinated, and gradually over a period of months to years, we could slowly reduce his anti-psychiatric drugs. And today, now that time he wasn't working at all. He was like a liability for his sister. Now he's working, he's earning his livelihood, doing very well. And he's working at a place where he's making his life, he's living his life very happily. He has pictures with Katrina Kaif and so on. So he's into a happiness zone. And that's what each one aims to have, a life which is a happy life where you are on your own. So now at current date, after around 1.5 years, he is only on one psychiatric drug with homeopathy, along with homeopathy. And we aim to stop his drug with the help of homeopathy within a few months, because he's doing very, very good. If I would share, his body language then and now has changed so much. Like the time he used to come initially, he would never have an eye contact or speak well. But now he sits in front of me, has eye contact, he calculates what his bill has come to. I mean, that's really amazing to see such a change in mental disorder patients. So that's why I want to expand the horizon of each one of us. Like, if anybody is suffering or is groping for searching for treatment of his ailments, which really do not have any treatment in modern medicine, of course you should give it a thought to homeopathy and opt for such holistic solutions. Moving on, I also wanted to share one more part of one more dimension of homeopathy, that is the core feeling. I hope each one of us know what are the core feelings. Each one of us have a inner world and an outer world. Outer world is always consciously available to us, but inner world is available only to you. I guess not everyone knows about your inner world. Like every one person, if I would say, for example, will have all the wealth in his life, has all good things in his life, like good family members, good relationship, but still somewhere down he feels that he's being not loved. Now where does this feeling come from? This is this core feeling, if we would identify. And you won't believe, homeopathy has those match. They have the match till the core feeling. And once we give those medicines, his core feelings decrease in intensity. He starts feeling more happier. He starts being with the surroundings. He starts living in a very positive way. So that is the depth in which we can treat a person with homeopathy. And that's how my website, homeopathymiracles.com, came into being, where I say that let's holistically treat all disorders like genetic diseases, neurological diseases, chronic ailments, autoimmune diseases, children's mothers who are struggling with autistic children, learning disabilities, in fact, stammering and all those kind of ailments that actually they never think that homeopathy could do some find results in all these things. But homeopathy really does wonders. I think you should visit my Facebook page, Homeopathy, a Magical Science, where I always keep putting testimonial of such rare cases being treated. We have been able to treat rare cases like Tourette syndrome. I'm sure आप सबने हिचकी movie तो देखी होगी. And those who have seen Rani Mukherjee in that state, that is the disease called as Tourette syndrome, which homeopathy has wonderful answers. Modern medicine really doesn't seem to work on these ailments. Moving on to our next slide. Yeah. So since we all understood the role of mind in causing diseases, the role of a healthy mind in having a healthy mind, and how important it is to have a healthy mind. So I just want to do a small exercise called this is called as happiness exercise. And why happiness? Like each one of us definitely wants to be happy. I'm sure final aim in life, whatever we do, like earn money or be with our family members or go for a party, is to be feeling happy. happiness is such a magical feeling. I mean, it has so many positive effects on our system. It releases positive hormones called as endorphins, which are so much, I mean, good for the physiology and cardiovascular system to give us a good heart and to keep your mood intact and giving an empowered immune system. You remember with the advent of Corona, we there were some companies who had come up with those activities like who's doing the best cooking, let's reward them. Oh, of course, these were related to that happiness quotient which they wanted to increase. And definitely, this lockdown with the COVID situation has taught us lot of things. So, my request to the audience today here, let two participants think of their. I mean, everyone should think about their day to day and yesterday, and if you can enumerate 5 events in your life these 2 days which made you really happy, but it did not involve any material exchange. I mean to say, no money exchange or no business transaction. So non-materialistic thing which made you happy, and I'll wait for that. So let's take those two participants and let them share what are the things that made them happy in these 2 days. Can we do that? Would anybody like to share their happy moments for today and yesterday? Anyone? Can we unmute? Anybody who's interested can raise their hands, please. Yeah, I think someone's raised her hand. Can she unmute and talk, please? Can someone help me? Yeah.
Yeah, Tisha, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I'm looking for sharing from your end, Tisha. Yeah, I think Anshul has also raised his hand. Can we unmute him? Hello.
Anshul, you can go ahead and talk.
Yeah, Anshul, please share your today's day and yesterday's day's happy moments which were not materialistically linked. Shall we wait, or Dr. Kazi, shall we move ahead?
We can go ahead. I think they're not able to understand that to talk.
Yeah. So let me give them examples. Now, am I understandable? That's what I want to know from you all. I mean, Dr. Kazi, am I making is everybody able to
Yes.
understand? Yeah.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
So let's move ahead. Let's take this sharing of happiness exercise. If I look at my today's day and yesterday's day, what are the things I could see? Like when I took a walk, I could see greenery around me. I could see flowers that made me feel so happy. Then I had my brother's daughter coming to my house. I hugged her. That made me so happy. Then one of my patients just called me and said, "Madam, you did a wonderful treatment for my daughter. She's so happy now. Her autistic child is doing much better." Oh, that gave me so much happiness. So, what I mean to say, if we start training our mind to look happiness in these small things in life and not wait for bigger things to happen, our happiness quotient or our happiness bucket is going to definitely increase. And what are we doing? We are then making a positive effect on our body also. So when we do subconscious training, we ask each one of us, like if I'm doing a happiness exercise for you all, I would request you all to do this exercise for another 21 days, because that is the time when we need to create neural pathways, and then your brain actually automatically gets trained to see positivity or happiness more so in your life. So your bucket of happiness will grow. That's how each habit, or like if you see driving lessons, how are they done and for how many days they are done? They are done 21 days, not less than that, because that's how it gets imprinted in your subconscious mind. So my request to everybody, even if they have not shared with us on the group, please take a pen and paper and make a note of your happy moments for today and yesterday, and keep doing this for another 21 days. Believe me, your happiness quotient is going to increase and your endorphins are definitely going to increase, and your mind will be in so much of positive state that your immunity is automatically going to rise up. And with this COVID still around us as a challenge in Mumbai, we definitely should do this exercise. Of course, people not living in Mumbai also should take up this thing, because it's a positive emotion which keeps body into a positive mental state. Let's move on to the next slide. So after understanding the role of mind in causing so many diseases or being an aggravating factor of so many diseases, like asthmatics, if they are put to stress, their asthma triggers. So managing emotions or mastering emotion was the need for each and every patient. I felt that to empower each one with this tool was a necessity to prevent so many diseases. Like I have seen people with chronic anxiety landing up with cancers, or people who do not self-love themselves, like they repress their emotions. What is repressing our emotion? Is that like if you have some challenge in your life or some trauma in your life, you still don't realize that you are passing through a difficult state in your life, and still you just go on, and that's like your emotions are not available to you, they are just going to the subconscious mind. Probably you could see that in your dreams. So such patients needed to be empowered with this mental healing tool, and so I started mastering each one of them. First was emotional quotient, where we become emotionally intelligent. All of us want intelligent children or intelligent beings, but being emotionally intelligent is the need of art. You may achieve less, but you may be happier more if you are emotionally intelligent. Yeah, then moving on to the psychological defenses tool, where repression comes into picture, suppression comes into picture, where denial comes into picture, and where so suppose, yeah, if I would put an example to you all, somebody has lost her husband at a younger age. Now this is a circumstantial difficulty. Definitely, she is going to have a difficult problem in her life in terms of her earnings also, but in terms of her emotions, her needs. So being aware is one more thing, and to channelize. Yani, if you're passing through difficulties which is unavoidable in your life, and yet to navigate those emotions so that you can make your system healthier and achieve great heights. So if we have seen there are people who achieve lot of success in their career in spite of being having undergoing a lot of difficulties in their life, could be economical. So what they have done, they have channelized their emotion. So we coach people to channelize their emotion or to use them positively. Graphology is another empowering tool. Graphology is understanding one person with his handwriting, or trying to modulate his traits or his illness or his mental pattern with the change in the strokes of the handwriting. If we understand, when we write with and this finger is represented in the brain, and if this pathway if we change it consciously by training ourselves, we can change our disease traits, we can change our mental patterns, like some people are very, very aggressive, angry kind. So this is also a wonderful healing tool. And chakras, people who do yoga definitely know the importance of chakra. The balance between all the chakra is necessity for being a healthier human being. So we work on chakra healing. Then we do counseling, like somebody is passing through a temporary difficulty of loss of a loved one, or people who are not able to ready to commit to marriage. This is a common challenge currently with this age of modernism where everybody is so independent. So we counsel and we we give the light which is present in them. We don't introduce our ideas. Moving on to affirmation. When affirmation comes into picture, with the first person we should think about is Louis Hay. He's done wonderful work on affirmation, and healing through affirmation has been known since ages. Of course, meditation. Meditation is also a wonderful healing tool, and that calms our mind and regulates all our senses, helps us to settle down hormonally. Another big impact which mind disturbance can cause is PCOS, which is a most common disease in lot of females. So, like if any disturbance in their mental level, the stress is directly going to show into their hormonal level. Either they will have irregular menses, they will have difficulty in conceiving. So, the importance of regulating, being the master of your emotions, is a necessity, and how to navigate your emotion is the most important tool of remaining in a healthy state. Moving on to the subconscious empowerment. That's like planting something in your subconscious mind so that you can achieve it, even if it's a smallest to smallest goal. If you plant that in your subconscious mind, then you will surely walk towards it and you will make it a reality. All these big coaches, big trainers, all this use this module. So how do we coach our mind to have a subconscious training? Is through this process of 21 days and removing the old idea and replacing it with a new idea. This is a process in its own. Okay, so these are some of the therapies which we use and integrate, and we do a lot of workshops on owning the wands of happiness. We've done workshops on anger and resentment release. We've done workshop on self-love, so on, so that we can empower you with a healthy mind. So none other than mind. Now, of course, we have to take care of our physical self. So whenever we have a consultation, we definitely talk about lifestyle modification, which plays a very big role in the entry of a disease, like people who are having a sedentary life, or people who are like used to eating a lot of junk food, they'll end up with blood pressure, they could end up with diabetes, obesity. So working on these modules also is a necessity. So each consultation would involve guidance in terms of their exercise pattern, their activity pattern, what are they eating. Like if we treat a lot of hair cases like alopecias or androgenic alopecias. So where diet is the most important part. The first step in treating any hair or skin is a skin disorder is to evaluate his diet, his content of protein in his diet, his content of micronutrients, and then we talk about the mind. But so that's how the diet becomes the most important part in each and every illness. Meditation, of course, we advise a lot of patients to do meditation, yoga. There are a lot of therapy yogas which are there, like asthmatics have special exercises, thyroid disorders have different exercises. Not that we do it at our center, but we definitely tell them that you should opt for these therapies in adjunct with homeopathy. These are like these are your other shastras to complement the main shastra of homeopathy. Then stress management that we spoke about, like how do we do with the mental tool and mental empowerment tools. So I guess I have shared quite a. We are there on we are there on our Facebook page, Homeopathy a Magical Science. We are having our website, Homeopathy Miracles. I would love to have all your questions. Please put them on the chat box, or you can unmute and please feel open to ask me all the questions. Yeah, can we take up the questions, please? Hello, can we take up the questions, please?
Kashyap, kindly take the questions.
Can somebody read the questions to me? I think there are a few questions on the chat box.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Hello.
Yes, Anita, we can hear you.
Sorry, so sorry.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
had got muted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there are these questions. Can you suggest medicines for allergies and hair fall?
Okay. So see, as I said, the approach in homeopathy is very individualistic. But I can say some names like arsenic alba is a good medicine for allergies. For hair fall, definitely we have to have an holistic picture. We have to understand whether are you nutritionally stable. Do you have a mental stress? You need medicine, homeopathy that is made for your system. So there are no standard medicine for hair fall. If you want some names which are like being used are arnica, there is vinca minora, but they do also have indications like vinca minora is for falling of hair which are in short lengths, and arnica is for good hair growth, strengthening the hair roots. So that's how it works. In allergies also we have more than 500 remedies. We have to have the symptoms.
Okay, ma'am. We also have another question. It's often said that results of homeopathy medicines take a long time to cure. Is it true?
That's a very good question. So I would love to answer this question. So first of all, I would ask you, what are we treating? If we are treating a chronic ailment and if we are aiming at a cure which is long term, then won't it take time to empower your system? At least minimum 3 months. यानी कोई चीज आप जड़ से निकालना चाहते हो तो that cannot be over weeks. It needs some time to empower your system. That's why it takes time. So like we've treated allergies in 3 months, recurrent allergy tendency in 3 months, but we have even treated colds within 3 days. So आप क्या treat कर रहे हो? Understanding that is the most important thing. So acute ailments can be treated in shorter period of time. Like we have treated conjunctivitis in 3-4 days, fevers in 4-5 days. But if we have to treat IBS, that is like psoriasis or ulcerative colitis, it would take 3 to 6 months, or maybe even more than that, depending on the disease extent, intensity of the disease, the level of immunity which the patient is already there. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. We have a question. Could you suggest any general homeopathic medicine that could help us face the stress nowadays?
Stress meaning you are talking about the COVID stress which is there currently?
Yeah, related to that.
Yeah, so I would like to share this. So COVID as a pandemic was definitely studied. And if you remember, Ayush had come up with a few medicine. One of them most highlighted was arsenicol. And we had given it to a lot of our patients in the month of March even before Ayush had started. Knowing her knowledge, what range of symptoms does arsenicol have. So we did for a first month. In the second month, we altered the dose, and the third month also we altered the dose. And those people, I feel, have been quite free from this COVID, like the COVID pandemic and the disease invasion. So, in my knowledge, they have been doing very well. So I think arsenicol was there, gelsemium was there, bryonia was there, then camphor was there. But that time, as a pandemic, so if you understand what is a pandemic, it's a disease which has affected a big, larger population. Like it has been globally there. So a number of patients are taken, like 1,000 patients are taken. Their symptoms are studied. यानी COVID में उनको क्या क्या हुआ? Fever, breathlessness, asthma, or like what they landed up, how did, and those, based on those symptoms, the remedy is selected. So the most important, the most potent remedy which came to light was arsenicol, and we've been giving it to our patient. That has helped. Anything more? So like if one more point I would like to add in this term of stress of COVID is raising your immune system. If we look at the plan given by our modern practitioners, is also vitamins, zinc, vitamin C, जैसे आयुर्वेदा ने दिया है आपको काढ़ा. So all these things are what they are doing. They are raising your immune system. And in that, being happy, being positive is also raising your immune system. Thinking positive about it. Anything else? Yeah. I think that answers your question. Can we take the next?
Yes, yes, madam. Can you please suggest something for backache post-delivery?
Yeah, backache post-delivery, we have wonderful remedies like Rustox. We have Aesculus hippocastum. So you can take Rustox if you just want to see what is the relief coming in. Rustox 200 would be the advised remedy 4 times a day for 5-6 days. You take it and then see. Again, the same thing I want to say. Any disease you suffer from, you need to study it holistically. Like, is your spine affected? Is your bone health in place? Should we go for physiotherapy? All these assisted things we need to take into consideration. Rustox will help you temporarily, but to solve it permanently, you need to work on it. Change your lifestyle pattern, maybe your posture, maybe your back exercises to strengthen your other muscles, maybe your diet, and of course the bone health. Yeah, definitely. Mental stress can affect your back very much. If you understand, mind can affect the muscles so much that they go into spasm and cause pain. So I think you are the best observer what has led to your back pain.
Ma'am, there is another question. There is a misconception about homeopathy having a placebo effect. Can you comment on that?
Placebo effect. So I'll tell you, homeopathy doesn't, really speaking, homeopathy itself starts, the healing begins when the patient starts giving the history. Like it's like going through your own journey of life, and somewhere you get aware about your emotions more better. Then when you are giving medicine, the second part of healing starts. So it's not just a placebo effect. I think it works at all the planes, mental plane. So I agree with this part that it's placebo effect. Yeah, can we take the next one?
Yes, ma'am. Is there any medicine for asthma and how effective is it?
Oh, there are a lot of medicine for asthma, but the only thing where we fall short. So if you want to just go by specific medicine, you can note down the names like arsenic alb, then we have Blata orientalis. But all our medicines are based on symptom matching. यानी किसी के asthma में उसको इतनी breathing difficulty होती है कि he can't even lie down. But some people in asthma want a lot of air. So what kind of asthma you are suffering from will determine the medicine which you would be prescribed or which should be helpful for you. Also now understanding the background of asthma, from where did it come? like how long it has been, or what mentals affect your asthma. Like some people in anxiety have a lot of breathlessness. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. Asthmatics are generally allergic, so they need to be treated in a holistic manner. We need to deal with their tendencies. So the remedies, if she wants to know, I would suggest Arsenicol, Blatta orientalis. There are Dulcamara, there's Bryonia, there's phosphorus. You can try. I would suggest you can just look into the symptoms and see what matches your system. Yeah, next.
Yes, ma'am, please suggest homeopathic medicine for plantar fascia.
Fasciitis, plantar fasciitis. I just read that. Yeah, in that case, Ruxtox can help you 4 times a day for a week. Should be helpful to you. Plantar fasciitis is basically inflammation in your fascia, so that should help you.
Is there any treatment for hearing problems?
Oh, that's a wonderful thing. So hearing problems, I have quite a few cases. People being diagnosed as a neurological hearing deficit. Normally, nerves are expected not to regenerate, but we started with homeopathy. And if you see my Facebook page, there's a testimonial of this man saying that I got my hearing back. So there are definitely medicines for regenerating the nerves also. So you can try treating deafness or decreased hearing.
There is another question. Is there a cure for trigeminal neuralgia?
Trigeminal neuralgia. We have wonderful remedies like belladonna. We can have spigelia. They do wonders. Again, the same thing. We need to take the symptoms and understand the background of the patient, from where does the disease come, and how we can help them.
Ma'am, there is another question on weight loss. Can you suggest some remedies for weight loss?
Yeah, so normally for weight loss, Phytolecca mother tincture is being used in empty stomach to be taken in half cup of warm water. But definitely again modalities like working on your diet and exercise. Uske bagair weight loss may not move further. You can achieve, and also finding out your hormonal status, whether you are a thyroid patient, whether you are having PCOD, that's like females who are overweight and find it difficult to lose weight. So we need to know, it's just not the weight, it's just the entire physiology, how, from where is it coming. And if you don't treat, you won't achieve the results.
There's another question. Does homeopathy have a medicine for migraine?
Yeah, homeopathy has a lot of medicines for migraine. It has helped a lot of patients with migraine. And that's quite a common ailment which comes to us in our clinic. So we've been successfully treated those patients, and the recurrence is also stopped.
Is there any medicine for psoriasis?
I just shared that case of psoriasis. So we have a lot of cases being doing better with homeopathy, and after a while they even can stop the medicine. They have been cured of psoriasis. Normally it's the belief that psoriasis is chronic, which is not the case. If they are taking medicine for a particular period of time, we've been able to taper slowly and then stop their medicine. Unless there is a big stress coming in life, and they can land up with the same ailment in a lesser form. Yeah, I said the case which we had shared on the slide, that was of psoriasis only.
Okay, ma'am. There is another question. Can you suggest some medicines to avoid recurring cysts, especially in women?
Cyst, can you come again? Cyst, where in women?
Maybe ovarian cyst.
Okay. There is no standard medicine which I can actually suggest. Again, I need to take history of that patient and understand his personality and give the medicine. That is a better way to approach all the diseases. Only in acute cases we can still suggest you medicine, like आपको allergic cold हो गया तो There you can try arsenicals, Allium cepa, euphrasia, all this kind of drugs. But in chronic cases, definitely you need to have a history, understand the mind, body, and physical pattern.
You were just mentioning about arsenic 30, a
Yes.
homeopathic medicine which is now widely distributed everywhere in Mumbai to prevent COVID infection. So, what, in your opinion, is the efficacy of this medicine? Someone wants to know about it.
Yeah, definitely. See, I myself, even before Ayush had declared, I also felt that arsenicals is the drug of choice for prevention. Mind me, when we talk about prevention, it's a preventive medicine, meaning if we take 100 people and we give arsenicals, what we expect is not that not all these 100 will not have COVID. The chances of getting COVID are much lesser. And even if they get COVID, the symptoms are in much lesser intensity. So the recovery rate is much faster. So we have to understand in this light, what is a epidemic medicine, what is a preventive medicine. So I definitely agree arsenicals had a wide role, and people as rightly distributed it everywhere. It was the best thing which we could have done.
Yes, ma'am. One last question. Can you suggest some medicines for thyroid?
Yeah, again, the same principle applies here. I cannot just like that suggest some medicine for thyroid. It's not like thyroid ho gaya to ultroxin ka dose dijiye. It's important because any disease you land up, it's a language of your body and mind. If we don't study and match up with the remedies, very difficult to find long-term cure. We've been able to stop thyroid medicine for a patient, but definitely after doing the entire holistic study of a person.
Ma'am, we have some of them who have raised hands. So we will unmute them so that they can ask the questions directly.
Yes, sure. I would love to do that. Yeah.
So Alka Saxena, madam, I'm unmuting you. You can ask your question.
Yes, Alka ji.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Ma'am, I am audible.
Yes, of course you are audible. Tell me.
Ma'am, I have facing a great problem of sneezing and allergy and hair fall. So I want some medicine for this. Or 3 years I have passed in this disease. I am sneezing and itching in throat and ears or hair fall. Please suggest me some medicine.
Yeah, Alka madam, I would have loved to help you. So the thing is, you are suffering from allergic rhinitis and you have alopecia. Could be seasonal. I don't know how much time period has passed. Like you said, 3 years. That means it's a alopecia. So your history has to be addressed. We cannot treat like allergically arsenic le lo. Okay, that will not give you long-term solution. So we need to make your history. I need to have a detailed history with you. And definitely we'll be able to do the best for you.
Then you can give your number and email, anything which I will share my history to.
Yeah, surely. So I'll put it on the chat box for everybody whoever wants to get in touch with me. How does that work with you all?
Yes, ma'am. You can do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Reshma, madam, I'm unmuting you. You can ask your question.
Yeah, Reshma, madam.
Reshma, madam, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, I think Reshma, madam, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Just one, like in addressing the question to Alka madam, my website is there, homeopathymiracles.com. There we have a chat box. Through that also you can book an appointment. My center's name is Homeopathy Miracles, and you can book appointments through Google like business and also through this website, homeopathymiracles.com. Thank you. We can take the further questions, please.
Yeah. Sona Dikshit, madam, I'm unmuting you. You can ask your question.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a nice session. One thing I like to ask is, I have an 80-year-old mom. She's with me right now, and she doesn't feel hungry. You know, whenever she sees the food, she says, "I don't want to eat." So what? She has a great faith in homeopathy. She's with her, and she wants to. She feels that her liver is having some problem, and she's having some problem in the liver. She's fit and fine, actually. But इनको क्या दवाई दूँ मैं? इनको आप बताइए तो.
Yeah. But she doesn't have any ailment in her liver, right? She doesn't have any problem.
No problem at all.
So you can try with this tonic, which is called as alpha tonic in homeopathy. Probably that can help her with her appetite.
Okay. Yeah. Any other medicine that you could suggest, like?
For your reference, I'll put it on the chat box. आप देख लो वहाँ से. Alpha tonic.
I've heard of this alpha tonic. इसके अलावा कोई regular कोई medicine which will help her out?
So the problem with us is to give medicine, we need to know personalities. Again, the same thing happens. Like for giving her specific medicine, अगर आपको बताया जाए कि एक तो history के बगैर कुछ दिया जाए और with history दिया जाए, तो उसके results में difference is without history is 40% and with history is 90%. That much big difference it is. So I can't really suggest any medicine which will increase our appetite except alpha tonic. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Reshma, madam, I'm unmuting. You can ask your question. Reshma, madam, kindly ask your question. Yes. So I think there must be some technical difficulty at her end. We are done with our questions, ma'am. So thank you, madam. It was a very enriching session. I'm sure we all realize the importance of homeopathy as a holistic therapy, which takes into account uniqueness of each individual's mind, body, disease pattern, and restores that synergy to heal any ailment from acute to chronic ailments. Thank you, madam, for this wonderful session. I would like to invite Dr. Usha Kiran Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Sociology, to propose a formal vote of thanks as we conclude today's webinar on restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. Over to you, Usha, madam.
Just can I take 1 second before she starts?
Yes, ma'am.
Even I wanted to thank this lovely audience for being there today evening and being such a patient listener. It was really an amazing experience to share my experiences in homeopathy. A big gratitude to VM Ruya College, principal, and all the dignitaries present here from Rotary Mid-City and Sitaram Devra Institute. Great thanks to everybody. Yeah, please, we can take it forward. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Over to you, Usha, madam.
Thank you, Anita. Good evening, everyone. It's my great pleasure to propose vote of thanks in today's national webinar on restoring synergy of mind, body, and soul with homeopathy. We would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the management of B.M. Ruya Girls College and Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies. We would like to thank President of Marwadi Sammelan, Advocate Sri Sushil Vyasji, Secretary of Marwadi Sammelan, Sri Suresh Devraji, Convener of B.M. Ruya Girls College and Trustee of Marwadi Sammelan, Sri Srikant Dalmiaji, Convener of Sitaram Devra Institute of Management Studies, Sri Vijay Singhalji, who have always been a continuous support and motivation in every program we have undertaken so far. We would like to express our sincere thanks to the President of Rotary Club of Bombay Mid-City, Mr. Ramesh Jain, Director, Vocational Services of Rotary Club of Bombay Mid-City, Mr. Mahesh Bilimoria, and member of Rotary Club of Bombay Mid-City, Mr. Nilesh Suchak. Without your guidance and support, this national webinar could not have been possible. We would like to thank our resource person, Dr. Meenakshi Jain, who gave her precious time for this webinar. Madam, your insight on relationship between mind, body, and soul has enlightened us. Your talk on immunity, disease due to imbalance, and valuable utility of homeopathy has enriched us. I'm sure the audience understands that homeopathy has a great relevance in modern medical practice today. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you so much.
We would like to thank our respected principal, madam, Dr. Santosh Kolkar. Without your guidance and inspiration, this webinar would not have been a success. For any successful program, there is a team behind it. We would like to thank overall in charge of Degree College, Ms. Shruti Ranade, madam, Vice Principal of Junior College, Mr. Kshama Tamankar, madam, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Nurujia Kaji, Dr. Anita Jacob and Dr. Kashyap Ganatra from Department of Commerce, Dr. Hemlata Masiwal from Department of Sociology, and Coordinator of Sita Ram Devra Institute of Management Studies, Mrs. Pooja Rele, for her all technical support. I would also like to thank all my colleagues, non-teaching staff, and everyone who has contributed for success of this webinar. We would like to express our special thanks to our national and international audience, which includes principals of different colleges, academicians, alumni, students, parents, and community members. We all were delighted to have your virtual presence today. Thank you all. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Kazi and Dr. Hello. Thank you, Dr. Kazi, Mr. Mahesh, and Mr. Ramesh ji. I forgot to give a vote of thanks to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam.
Yeah.
A special thanks to Santosh sir, because of whom the YouTube streaming could have been possible. We owe our gratitude and sincere gratefulness to you, sir. Thank you very much, Santosh sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you all. The feedback link has been put on the chat box. So participants are requested to fill up the feedback form. Thank you. The meeting will be kept on for 5 more minutes so that you all can click on the link and fill up the feedback form. After 5 minutes, we will end the meeting. Thank you all.